Tyloo off to a bit of a banger there on Mirage. It was a map where both teams kind of went backwards and forwards in the early stages, but past round number 10 or so, I would say, is where Tyloo really just started to run away with things. They ended up with a 10-5 first half, and from there, it inevitably spiraled out of control, and ViCi were not able to come back into the swing of things. Although they did have a couple of nice rounds in the second half there, it really just felt like they just didn't give themselves enough room, and Tyloo kind of kicked it into another gear and finished things off.
Yeah, if I was to summarize ViCi's performance, it would basically be Jam Young was banging for a couple of rounds and then a couple of good calls on the T side, but apart from that, nothing was really present. Didn't have a great level of performance across the board like you saw on the other side for Tyloo. Very consistent across the board, all 5 of them really fragging and stepping up for this grand final. So, I mean, let's be real, Mirage is not really a map that ViCi have looked consistent enough on, so it's not surprising to see Tyloo take this away. But when you're looking at the rest of the series, 3 maps to go, and ViCi need to win all 3 of them in a row to make sure they win this grand final. I don't know if that's happening.
Do you want to throw an in there as well, Kev?
I would have thought that Tyloo would have won that even more convincingly. The problem was when they started on their T side, when we're saying, hey, this is looking like it's a pretty good brawly style kind of game, the trading rounds and whatnot. It was like Tyloo were trying to take it strategically in those rounds, and I just went, all right, when's the part where Tyloo just stop and they just go, let's just go play A bomb site and just kill people? That was just, and eventually it got to the stage, all right, let's just execute fast here. Why are we trying to play map control and whatnot when you just can delete people when you just enter onto the bomb site? And that's what they did towards the end and why they got such a big lead.
All right, well, across the board, it really felt like Tyloo sort of individually kind of had their moments. In particular, Summer and Attacker were the ones that I thought were the most impressive there. And when you got those 2 old boys fragging out, it seems like it's always going to be a good day for Tyloo.
Yeah, I mean, ever since this new iteration of Tyloo, these guys have been very, very consistent performance. I think, you know, you're looking at the fact that it's an all-Chinese roster. You're looking at the fact that you're not constantly swapping players in and out, swapping positions around, changing things around, trying to play a style that maybe doesn't necessarily fit the team correctly because you're trying to adapt to international play. And you're seeing a lot more consistent level of performance out of some of these players because maybe they're feeling a little bit more comfortable. Maybe they can focus a little bit more when you're all speaking the same language.
Well, you'd have to imagine that's going to make life a bit easier for them. Any hope of a comeback here for you, Kev? I know you were the one that sort of locked in ViCi for your predictions. I mean, you didn't seem too confident about Mirage to begin with, so maybe there's a little glimmer of hope?
It's pretty much gone at this stage. They had to come out of the gate swinging, being able to match up Tyloo's firepower and confidence levels, and now that you're unable to do that, the only consolidating facts I have to go by is that, okay, at the very least Inferno is the next map, you're able to win against Tyloo before, but then you've got 2 more maps afterwards, and when you come into that form where you're just not really looking like you're competing on the same level, yeah, I don't know. It's looking scary now.
Well, something that we might talk about a little bit as we head into map number 2, that's going to be Inferno, and it certainly seems as though a 3-0 may be on the cards today for Tyloo. You're going to have to wait to find out, though. We'll have a quick break and be back after this.
Face without a name, a hero wrapped in shame, a soul that is rejected by a world of judgment. And now the sun begins to fade, will the moon ignite my flame? A symphony of everything I wish could change. So I'm making a final. No more
Inferno will be map 2 here between Tyloo and ViCi, and the stats definitely do not paint a pretty picture for Tyloo. Let me give you another one. ViCi, the last couple of times, in fact, that they played Tyloo on this map, they did win Inferno. So if there is one silver lining to the very dark cloud that seems to be brewing for ViCi, it's that heading onto Inferno, it does look like a bit of a stronghold for them, and you have to look at this as potentially being one that goes the way of ViCi, at least as far as I'm concerned, Pilski.
Yeah, you would expect it to go that way, simply because the last 2 times ViCi has been able to pick it up against them. Maybe that's what has led them to actually go and pick it as the first map in this best of 5, at least for themselves. You know, obviously Tyloo's got that first map. What's worrying for me is I'm looking at Zoking, I'm looking at Ormond. These guys need to perform because the last 2 maps, there's no level of consistency between them on Inferno. Like, if you go back to Road to Rio, Ormond like 35 bombed and Zoking bottom fragged and they won. And then you go into DreamHack Masters upper bracket, Zoking had like 120 ADR and Ormond bottom fragged. So it's like, somebody needs to step up and fill that firepower role, but there's no consistency as to who's doing it. And it's kind of hard to play around and consistently win and consistently have a good win condition and strategies that make sense when it's just different players popping off here, right and left.
All right, Kev, you've been the guy that's sort of written the script so far today for us. What's up next?
What's up next? For some reason, Tyloo just don't hit their shots anymore. Kaze finds some vintage form, and apparently ViCi can remember how to play a little bit of Counter-Strike by shooting their opponents. Like, the only way that I can say for Ormond was his performance was actually very disappointing. Like, I think he was sitting at the bottom there. You're expecting him to be one of the riflers that needs to get a couple more kills, especially as that B-site player. Can't be relying on Advent doing the fragging once again. I feel like just make the Karath soundboard about ViCi. Big brain, not as much aim for Advent.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see how that pans out here on Inferno. Does the historical results sort of weigh a little bit into the favor here of ViCi and the fact that maybe Tyloo have that weight on their shoulders going into Inferno?
I'd say maybe a little bit, but in the sense that ViCi can come into this and go, look, we've always taken down Tyloo. We can actually take this, slowly start making our comeback work. But for Tyloo, they're just going to start sprinting and go, okay, we are Tyloo. We entry frag. My name is Summer, an attacker. I kill.
You can take entry out of it. It's just we frag.
Yeah, I mean, attacker. Good than the attacking and the defensive side because he just keeps attacking. Speaking about attacking, look at this. Just a full send right into mid, and Kaze is trying to bail it out of there.
Well, this is something that you alluded to, maybe, Pilski, on the maps, that Tyloo are not feeling too confident on. They just show that over-aggression and run at their opponent. There's a good example of it right in the pistol.
Yep. I mean, it takes all element of strategy or your opponent having an advantage on a map when they can't even play their normal game, which I couldn't even tell you what ViCi's normal game is. Obviously they have their defaults, they have their strategies, but in terms of who's going to be stepping up, who's going to be performing and actually putting the numbers on the board.
Yeah, it's like a dice roll.
Yeah, it actually is. It's like 1 to 5. Who's going to be going?
Question is, do they check Jark spot where somebody's going to be at? And the answer is no for now, as somebody can't really find the timing, but they line up for him anyway, so it doesn't really matter at that stage. It looks like Tyloo just clean up the pistol round once again. They'll concede the bomb plant, but no problems for them.
Up 1-0. A great start for Tyloo. Is that their 3rd pistol in a row? I think so.
Yeah, but for some reason, I've got a feeling ViCi might be able to take this next force buy.
Yeah, it's possible.
Just got a feeling.
Hooked on a feeling. You know that song, Kev?
Got a feeling.
I think they wrote it
about you. Gonna be a good night.
No,
of Counter-Strike.
that's not the
No,
one.
okay.
That's Black Eyed Peas. It is a half buy from ViCi. Or buying up a couple of pistols, some utility. Trying to inflict some damage before they go for a buy in the next. Quick one straight towards jungle side. And Decking has unfortunately hit his noggin on the wall.
You really are a scriptwriter, aren't you, Kev?
Yeah, Jam Young. We know what he does with Deagles, as he just goes in and just presses delete, delete, delete. And look at that. Look how clean that pistol round was.
You know something we don't, Kev?
I've come in from the future. You may all bow down to me. It's okay. Don't need to follow me at KrathCS.
Can I get a for the boys?
Oh my lord.
Damn. Look, if there's one
This is what
shining light,
happens.
it's Jam Young.
This is what happens when you doubt my boy Jam Young. You can't even say my boy anymore.
I never doubted him.
You can't even say that.
Jam Young has always been there. Just the rest of ViCi.
I didn't put
No.
him in my dream team.
I did. I put him in. He's in my dream team, and he remains. For now. Advent might be on the chopping block. Don't know who I'm going to replace him with yet, but. Hang on.
Somebody's just fighting like lower at mid, and Orman's just there by himself because he decides, why not? I'm going to challenge this by myself, so he dies. At least the AK is not retrievable by the CT side.
Now this off angle, up behind barrels, if it's not spammed out by ViCi, who might not want to make too much noise coming out banana here. This could be a couple of kills for somebody if he picks his timing correctly. Nope, cleared by Kaze.
Solid stuff, and they're going to pick up the pace coming into the B bomb site.
Maybe Tyloo's better off just saving these guns and taking them into the next round.
I don't mind that.
Give themselves a chance with the pistols. It's
Yeah.
going to have to be an eco anyway. So here we go. Back to ViCi being the favorite for a map.
Seems like you're all pretty in tune with Tyloo, and Kev's pretty in tune with ViCi. I don't know what I'm here for. I think I'm in tune with the chickens.
Sounds about right. Could you maybe like try to communicate with the chicken?
I think the chicken's a little bit too smart for Pilski, to be honest. I feel like the chicken has to reduce his intelligence level. He just died.
That was a good attempt.
So cruel.
How's Urkos going to get through now without his special roasted chicken?
There's more where that came from.
I think
That's grim.
You can't replace Bob,
You can't
Jordan.
just replace Bob like that. You heartless monster.
Bob is nothing to me. Nothing but a succulent meal.
The truth.
Oh no.
It has come out.
He thinks the same thing about Jam Young, I bet you. Oh, the pistol's doing some damage in apartments here, actually.
Zoking looking a little bit stressed out.
Needs to leave the apartment, needs to get out of the house for a bit.
I wonder if Summer's going, hey, somebody, I've got a little weapon for you. And slowly is just going to peek around the corner. Advent decides to not do anything as he's getting shot, because that's generally your first reaction. As somebody's actually just tapping away with a USP at the moment. He's actually doing a lot of work right now. Baiting in for Slowly. But Slowly can't bring the CZ spray back. And
That's
so,
rough.
I mean, that was an opportunity now going begging for Tyloo.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. That CZ was not on point. Anyway, ViCi will take the benefit of it. 3-1.
They've got so much money in the bank.
That's what you want for ViCi, to try to make the comeback into the grand finals. But Tyloo will have their first buy up themselves, but not much utility to fight with. It's going to have to be the weapons, and once again, look how the fortunes turn.
Pretty limited utility for Tyloo in a round like this. No Molotovs on anyone but Slowly. And he is going to drop that about 5 seconds into the round. Somebody one smoke towards B. So if you just run a slow round here, ViCi, you drain all of utility from Tyloo.
Well, it seems they're quite liable to run a slow round, to be honest.
Ooh, Summer trying to get some of the spam through in towards window room. Doesn't get the timing quite correctly. And getting ready with the smoke for jungle side. Molotov onto Dig. And a flash to send old mate Zoking out of boiler, and that's bracket control for ViCi.
Well, somebody is doing his thing. This time it's not through a smoke, but Puts a bit of pressure back on Banana. Not sure how helpful that really will be for Tyloo right now because they are slowly but surely losing the A site.
Oh, look at this peek from somebody, though. He gets all his Nana control for free, but the problem with this, though, is that Tyloo have no one over to A, pretty much.
I wouldn't say that Attacker and Summer are no one.
They're going to get mollied off. They're going to get flashed out. But no, it's actually, once again, the crossfire is just a little bit too potent at this stage.
I don't know if you've been watching the rest of this tournament, Kevin, but Attacker and Summer have been banging everyone out of the server. It's all on Kaze. And as if somebody even need an excuse to wide peek.
It wasn't even a somebody wide peek just yet. That was like a quarter of his normal peeking ability.
That's true. He didn't fully commit all the way over to the left side of the wall.
I'm very impressed by his new discipline.
Did counter strafe.
I feel like the difference there is like maybe just a single flashbang ViCi have there. They get the entries. It's a lot cleaner.
2-3. It's an early tack timeout from ViCi, to be honest. I guess they're under a fairly high pressure position right now, with Tyloo having 2 maps in the bank.
I think the problem as well is just how quickly they lost map control. They had all the top brackets. I guess they kind of had top Banana, but somebody just walks out through a smoke, and then you have 4 attackers coming in through Diggity and Apartments, and you can't convincingly kill 2 people on site. Thinking that's worth having a bit of a chat about to make sure you fix it, because you also have the chance to reset Tyloo's economy at this stage.
Yeah, a little bit of cash in the bank for 3 of the players as they survive with a few guns there. ViCi, still plenty of cash in the bank, and are just going to go straight into another gun round, working their way through Apartments. Somebody trying to get a one-way over the top of the smoke. And as he is sitting in the smoke, as the smoke fades, he will be able to see his opponent first. But doesn't capitalize. Instead, he's just going to smoke off and take Nana control. Meanwhile, ViCi looking like they're going to go for a bit of a cart bust here.
Going to be testing that crossfire of Summer and Attacker again. Out comes the smoke and the flashbangs, and it looks like Attacker will be blinded off by this. Zoking will be able to get the first pick. That's a solid start as now the T's have pit control, looking to pressure further in.
Jamyoung does it again for ViCi, but maybe somebody can salvage something. Slowly and Danking, unlikely to have much of an impact here. Kaze does get tagged down. Going to be able to drop the Molotov and back away, though. And that's exactly what Tyloo will be doing, too. Heading towards the B site as ViCi continue to creep forward on the T side. Hasn't been a blistering pace set by either team here in Inferno, but it's certainly leaning more and more significantly toward ViCi.
They've just got more money to play with at this point. So they're going to be allowed more opportunities to get across the line on the T side because they just have access to more buys than CTs do. Saving those 2 guns actually will potentially allow Tyloo to go for a real janky buy if they want to. Going to be pretty light on the utility if they do so, but not sure if they're going to actually go for it, especially with the full utility board up. Probably just a save around the 2 rifles. A couple of pistols purchased, and they're just going to even up their money. See if they can inflict some damage, give themselves an outside shot at winning the round with these rifles.
Zeus for somebody. He's holding in Apartments. Not a bad place to use it. If Tyloo doesn't rotate an extra player over toward B here, though, it could be quite problematic for Slowly. That'll be a tough ask to defend with just a flashbang. Bit of an off angle for him, though, so maybe a chance to spray a couple down. Tyloo getting some info in towards middle as we hear the utility being thrown over to B. It's going to prompt a peek from Slowly, which would not be particularly well timed if he does actually round that corner. Look at the movements that somebody is making, though. This should be a free kill onto Jamyoung, and it is. That's a good start for them. Utility's thrown in, slowly was waiting, poised, ready to strike, and he just can't quite hold on to it for more than the one kill. Summer's gotten Zoking though, and it's a 3-on-2 now.
Yep, they're going to head straight back to the A-bomb site. They understand that maybe it's a little bit weak. 2-on-3. It's all up to Danking to find a good position on this post, or on this hold for now. He's going to hear Orman. All Orman's trying to do is just clear out a couple of common spots and try to find some nice timing as Danking just cannot land the spray. It will allow the bomb plant to go down with the smoke onto Moto as well. It's going to be very difficult for the CTs to commit forward, and I would say this is another opportunity for Tyloo that's gone begging.
He just got the timing wrong, didn't he? If he would have peaked a little bit earlier or a little bit later, maybe things would have gone his way. Orman sits in the smoke and he'll get both Attacker and Summer, who were trying to get a little bit tricky with a totem pole. 5-2 for ViCi. They might wipe a little bit of sweat from the brow after that round, though.
Well, that got a little bit too close for comfort, considering what Tyloo was working with there, just the 2 rifles. Now Tyloo going to go for another full buy. But ViCi, plenty of cash in the bank. Feeling pretty comfortable on the T side of Inferno here. And yet again, it seems like they've got Tyloo's number on this map in particular. This time around though, Tyloo going to take full control of Banana. Slowly, and somebody working in tandem very well to take control of that critical part of the map. But it is going to be the A site execute from ViCi.
Zoking tries to go through the smoke. Danking will punish not only him, but also Advent. That round has just disappeared.
Jamyoung's in with a good chance to win it. Because Jam, as somebody decides to hit him with the wide strafe. They're all just taking one-on-one deals at the moment, Tyloo.
That's still very relevant damage, though.
I guess they thought that throwing the execute onto that A bomb site might pull off the jungle rotator, but Danking is just sitting right in front of the smoke as they run straight through it into his crosshair.
This time a faster play up Banana for ViCi. A lot of utility invested by Tyloo has split the T side apart. That's a nicely timed grenade onto Jamyoung as well.
Over the roof there. From Attacker, I believe it was.
Ooh.
Another decent one. Almost connects a little bit more heavily. ViCi sizing up this B bomb site, but Danking is leaning more heavily over there.
And somebody's thinking about the dry peak at the moment. Oh, no.
Maybe he's just waiting on the angle similar to what Slowly was doing. Ready for the utility. This time ViCi adapts to it and they put the molly down close. The smoke is the response, and aggression from... I can't believe it. ViCi can't believe it either. They were not expecting that at all from somebody, and Slowly they've pushed through a Molotov to try and recontest Banana.
They've shown the bomb over towards B as well, and it instantly rotated off. Jamyoung walks through jungle side, but Attacker, a lot of experience on this man, well aware that this could be the route back through A, and as well as the fact that Danking hasn't seen a single thing over towards the B bomb site. He's dealt very nicely with Jamyoung there.
Kaze now has the information as to where Attacker is. And Attacker doesn't quite know where Kaze is, so goes for a bit of a wander and is caught off. It turns into a one-on-one. The young gun Danking.
I feel like this is all down to timing at the moment. Is he going to push through the smoke before Kaze can spot him? And he's been pushed through, but Danking can't land the shots. Kaze is able to get the flick. So another clutch going in the favor of ViCi. And this time around, it's Kaze now starting to put the rounds on the board for them and the kills.
Crosshair placement just basically out in the open, but Kaze's raw adjustment is a little too strong. Snaps back around onto the head and closes that 1v1 out. And that's going to put Tyloo on another save. They've definitely had a lot of economic woes, but that's not too uncommon for a team that wins a CT pistol and then the following round immediately after.
Yeah, they've also had plenty of really close rounds that ViCi have gotten over the line. And so you do feel as though Tyloo just getting the raw end of the stick a little bit here. Slowly with the Deagles, at least able to get one here, but Danking USP, unfortunate for him. 7-3. ViCi continue the streak.
At least Tyloo have another buy round, but I'd say we'd be heading into the third map pretty soon.
Again, it's another round where they just really don't have great utility, though. Lost a peek over towards Banana. Allman just spamming away through that smoke.
And this is the classic, somebody's actually going to push through the smoke. Oh man, this is the Tyloo
There's not
classic.
even a hesitation, he just
goes straight through. He's lost a teammate and he goes, hey, do you know what an excellent idea right now is to push through a smoke? It's all down to Attacker to try to hold on to the pit area. If he can find the timing, try to find the spray down, could actually find some more damage, but now it's all down to somebody. Felt like the rotation was heard out as well. He's trying to face against two people, but won't be able to connect anything at all.
And now Tyloo having to take another save.
And they picked Inferno the other day, don't forget that as well.
I remember, Kevin, we had a very in-depth discussion about it on the desk. Do you
I don't
remember?
think it was in-depth at all. It was just me going, what the heck is this pick? And you going, look, they played against great European teams and they lost. They're good at this map. I'm sounding a bit like Mitch right now.
You've definitely got the pitchiness down. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I have a little bit too much intonation. I sound a bit too more interested, so definitely not like Mitch in that aspect.
I don't know who Mitch is, but anyway. Tyloo set up towards dig side. Handful of pistols. A little bit of a firing squad for these guys.
Oh,
Triple-faced.
It's a nightmare.
Your worst nightmare, perhaps, Pilski?
Maybe. You see two Chinese players swinging at you with a deagle. That's the last thing you see.
Good pop flash, though, from Advent to allow Kaze a bit more control into Diggity. Just alleviate some of that pressure. They're still committing in, and Danking's still pushing in, but Kaze, he's more than happy to hold. Now it's Attacker's turn. I'm broken after this round. It was just like they triple peek. Excellent. Then they decide to individually peek in, and Kaze goes, yep, I know what Tyloo's plan is. This is the counter. I just hold this angle.
He's 16-4, having a pretty good game for himself. So I was wrong. It's not Allman or Zoking's turn on Inferno. This time it's Kaze's turn. Everyone gets a turn.
It's like
at
spin the
carrying on
bottle.
Inferno.
Whoever the bottle lands on gets to carry the game on Inferno.
All right. Chicken camera.
He's
Hopefully-
going to defuse the
Oh,
bomb. He's
no.
trying to get a ninja off. Has he got a kit?
He's going to die.
I don't think he's going to make it.
Run!
Oh, no, he hasn't got it.
No, Bob, get out of there.
Oh,
It's
so
gonna blow.
close.
Ah, you could have saved his gun.
I can't believe it. That's a ludicrous decision. There was no way he was going to get that defuse.
No kit and everything. He didn't even have his little chicken kit.
Has this guy even played CS before?
Well, what you do is Tyloo at the moment in a tactical timeout. What do you even talk about at this stage? Hey guys, how are we losing the game at the moment?
Yeah, they are losing the game at the moment. How are they? Well, Kaze.
I wouldn't say it's just Kaze. I'd say that some of the decisions from Tyloo are a little bit questionable as well.
I think they just need to get the Mirage form going again. Fire up. Double AWP. Maybe that's the answer. To be fair, a lot of these gun rounds, they haven't had good utility, and they continue to buy. which it's pretty hard to take Nana control when you don't have any Molotovs. Maybe AWPs are the answer.
Yep, Dan King just swinging in. Maybe that is going to be the answer. He's still holding such an aggressive angle at the moment. He's going to be hearing all this ruckus over here at the apartments area.
The AWPs ringing out across the map, giving ViCi pause for thought at this point. What is the play in this 4-on-5? Angling towards this A bomb site. The flash on Dig pushes Dan King off the line. Flash over Banana as well from Orman. But somebody drops the smoke and goes forward with this AWP.
Oh, he's taking a bit of damage, so he needs to get out of there now.
Why is he even there with the AWP?
What do you mean? It's gathering info. Is there a problem with this play?
Once again, 35 seconds left on the clock. ViCi looking like they're angling more to the B bomb site. With some of the members over at top mid, though, could have to result in a bit of a split. You can see Advent very, very cautious of the closed corners, thinking that maybe someone had snuck close, but that was actually somebody who's backed off. And it's going to be Orman that's the bait. And that might have actually been enough to draw out a bit of attention, but Summer's still here. He's hearing all of his attention right now as Dan King has allowed the space to move around and do the damage, and that's pretty much the round over and done with as slowly just gets the spray through the edge of the smoke. At least Tyloo, a bit of fight coming into the end of this half, but it might be a case of too little too late.
Yeah, they get the double AWPs, they get some utility rolling, and they have a little bit of success. I would imagine, though, that ViCi, having a pretty good run on this T side, should have a pretty swift adaptation coming out. Try and secure themselves their 10th. That works. Holding angles.
Punishing some of Tyloo's over-aggression at this stage, but that definitely doesn't help when you walk straight into Dan King.
Dan King's hitting some nice shots. We'll give him that.
Uh-oh, somebody, don't be teaching slowly bad habits at the moment.
Is this
You
necessarily
gotta
a bad
learn
habit?
from the veterans, Kev. Somebody's been around for a while. He's just showing them the ropes.
Slowly is baiting. Dan King's got an advent as well. Surely Kaze wants to try and trade it back. Walks right into somebody's crosshair. The smoke. Orman's holding his knife out. Why is he holding his knife out?
It's a very cool knife, Jordan. Have you seen his knife?
He's actually AFK.
You know what I think? Is that he might be AFK.
He's timed out. This is terrible. It's like, it's a 2-on-3 at the moment, but Jam Young's actually snuck through. Hang on, this is not terrible at all, but he hasn't found where Dan King is. Jam Young manages to sneak through and find the timing. Is slowly going to check T-spawn is the real question.
Advent's getting this information. Advent's relaying.
No! Oh, no, that's PM.
Oh, man.
What is this
What
game?
am I watching at the moment? Oh. This is...
He's really just thinking, what is going on? How funny would it be? You just come back in and...
Well, that's like the pug strat. In the knife round, you pretend you're AFK and they come in and they try to knife you, and all of a sudden you get the left, right in, and they're just bamboozled. But I'm starting to think that maybe it wasn't just a ruse. Maybe he really was not there, or he was timed out.
I mean, that just proves that ViCi's so good they can basically 4v5 Tyloo.
I think it has something to do with Jam Young.
I like
Being
Jam
a
Young as
gamer.
well.
And look, all is correct in the world. Advent's 1-10 and ViCi are 10-4. Makes sense to me. In-game leader support extraordinaire. Setting up his players for success. And Tyloo's bamboozled. Their economy has been all over the place this half. They really haven't had access to proper grenades until the end part of the half, where they got double AWPs and finally got some Molotovs going, which helped them take that banana control. They've had very limited success.
Well, to the surprise of nobody, we have a pause here from ViCi.
Just loving that last round.
I mean, I loved that last round. It's kind of woken me up a little bit.
Yeah, look, I don't really know what to say, but it's looking again like this upper bracket sort of thing that we saw, where one team is just blowing the other team out of the water, and there's not really any fight back.
This is the part where you just get the stick out and you start poking a team and go, come on, do something. Come on, Tyloo. Site defense, map control your own CT side. You can't just sit in pit and hope to set up a crossfire. You're going to get flanked by the Jam Young. Can't just walk through a motor smoke like that and headshot 2 people, Mitch.
Well, he did it.
He did it. He's an absolute madman.
He's a gamer.
Why Jam Young?
Why Jam Young?
Why Jam? Yeah, Jam Young. I'm just trying to think what the origin of the alias would be.
He's young.
I mean, who really knows? Yeah, I mean, that's it. But does he just like Jam?
It's like Baby in StarCraft. Maybe he'll re-alias at one point.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe Jam Young will re-alias at one point.
Old Jam.
He'll become Space Jam.
What would your name be?
Nice.
My name?
I would be Lasagna Old. What about you, Pilsky? What do you like?
Anyway.
Traitor.
Alright, shut me down.
Anyway, what? There's been some utility exchanged. Cool. I've done your job for you.
Yeah,
Mitch.
answer the
Now
question.
Answer the
Answer
question.
the question.
I would be... I'll be... I don't know, Pickle Man? Is that
Pickle Man.
Is that a good one? I think ViCi's going to go for a bit of a carpet bust into a 4.
Is that supposed to be a play on words because your name's Pilipowski?
I guess so. I like pickles.
Here's a pickle, Rick. Wow, out comes the apartments bar. Slowly, he's going to be looking to dance around his advent.
Oh,
He's just going to get banged out, and the bomb actually falls down and slowly
Hello.
goes, hey, that's pretty good. There's something in front of me.
They need that. They need that C4. Maybe I'll discard that.
Rotation's coming across as well. This is a round that's sort of a bit strange, isn't it? Somebody's hiding in the smoke, although that is more normal than anything else. Timing's okay for somebody. He gets a 1-for-1, but somehow Jam Young done it again. He's got himself an important frag. Zokin gets 2. We're into a 2-on-2.
No kits for Tyloo as they double wrap through Dig. They'll be quite happy that the bomb only just went down. Might give them the time that they need. Attackers going out through carpets. Dan King slowly moving up towards the bottom site. It's going to be a double site crossfire for ViCi.
It's down to the first point of contact between Kaze as well as... Oh, he tries to get the flick down, but Attack is able to come out through apartments and make the difference, but they can't find the bomb. Yes, they can eventually
they'll
find it.
Don't worry.
Dan King Dan King's retrieved a kit. So at least Tyloo get 5 rounds in that half, but really overall, that was ViCi's half as they're sitting on double digits. Look, we're going for a short break. Can Tyloo come back on their own attacking side to close it out as a 3-0, or ViCi good enough to bring it into at least one more map? We'll have to find out soon.
Stand up, stand up, stand up. Time flies by, but not for you and I just need to catch your eye. Gonna make you notice. Gonna make you notice me. Gonna make you notice. Gonna make you notice me. Gonna make you notice. Gonna make you notice me. Gonna make you notice.
5-10, and Tyloo struggling a little bit here on Inferno. They did win Mirage 16-9, but ViCi definitely coming back here, and this could be the third time in a row that Inferno goes the way of ViCi if they can just finish off 6 rounds on their CT side. Doesn't sound too difficult, does it, boys?
In theory. I mean, look, that was a very one-sided half. It didn't really look close, but at the end of the day, Tyloo do still come away with 5 rounds towards the end there, and if they're able to pick up the pistol here, maybe get that first gun round or deal with that initial force buy, which is inevitable if ViCi do lose this pistol, they should be starting to close this round gap pretty quickly. So, you know, let's not count them out of it just yet.
Especially if they're able to bully the B bomb side. I'll be looking at this at the moment going, well, Advin's having a shocker. I don't know where Advin's playing.
Can't just run at one player, Kevin, necessarily. Maybe he will be ready for that.
I don't know. I'd be doing that on purpose. I'd deliberately try to isolate. This guy's having a shocker of a game, and to tilt him even further, I'm just going to put him in the bin. It also increases your chance of getting the site success. Why go up against Jamyoung and Zoking on the A-bomb site if you can go against Advent on the other side?
Tyloo's just flashed themselves over at A, but that's okay. They're going to go around the world. Jamyoung responds with a push. Somebody almost able to double down there in Banana, but this is a quick play from Tyloo and a quicker think from Advent as he hides behind the smoke, tries to deal some damage. It's really a ring around the rosy at the moment, isn't it? Advent's fallen. Orman stands tall for the moment, but Bomblight should be going down here for slowly. Summer waits long enough that he does catch Orman trying to get aggressive, and now Kaze rotating across with a CZ. He's going to have to do it himself, but Tyloo have just smashed away with the pistol.
There it is. And here comes the force from ViCi. Surely. They always do it. Is this the exception?
Get a Deagle and Jamyoung and just tell Jamyoung to go kill. That's how they've won most of their force mines. It might be a case of, yes, he can do it again.
Here's the force. The thing is, though, if they do win this round, Tyloo, they buy themselves a lot of space to close this round gap. They'll be getting themselves a 7th and then an 8th in the anti-eco before ViCi can put together what will likely be a pretty meh buy.
Ooh.
And so far, they're doing a lot of damage to Jamyoung and Zoking over here towards...
Oh!
Hey, forget about it.
How does he always do it?
He is a gamer.
He's an electronic athlete. He's an electronic cyber athlete, sorry.
He's an e-gaming competitor.
Back to the drawing board for Tyloo. Bit more banana control being established once again, and we'll have to deal with Advent smoke in just a second. Maybe they decide to go through it. They're throwing a smoke down of their own. Plenty more where that came from, though, so perhaps just trying to bait out a bit of that CT utility. For now, Advent's doing a good job of hanging on to it. Biding that timer.
Makes a difference. Throws it out just then.
Somebody has made a few shots over there at A, but no one's really rotating for now. It might be another fake coming out, and this is all down to Zoking getting a few shots in at mid, but looks like he's been punished for it. Advent and Orman trying to stay alive right now, but 2 players on the site, as somebody's able to get the entries working just for now. Kaze close range with the Deagle. This is starting to fall apart for Tyloo. At the stage as Kaze has retrieved an AK-47, and Summer's just flying in there with a MAC-10.
Had to.
Had to.
No.
Orman's alone at middle with 40 HP. Summer going to retrieve that AK and put the bomb down. Orman's just running at him.
Oh, and Summer's just bailed Tyloo out of an atrocious situation.
What? What is that round?
That is a great counter-striking round where Tyloo have cemented their 7th on Inferno and bought themselves the space that they need to close this round gap.
Oh man, I wish Tex Guy was like one of my supportive parents.
He's kind of toxic.
That's the first time I've seen Tex Guy not just go lol. And then just say a fact about the player's stats.
Here's 1 kill. What else do you have to say about it? 25 ADR. Ooh, that's a good shot from Zoking. That's not easy to hit on slowly.
Well, they're just going to run back towards B because Zoking's scary. But Zoking is already rotating back to B.
I love Advin's spot behind the fountain here, but he is missing a lot of these shots, and finally he will be cleared out.
Good stuff in the end there from Tyloo. It was looking like ViCi was in a scary looking place.
Advin's got 2 kills now.
He's basically twice as good as he was a round ago. That's fantastic.
If you can get 4, I'll give another blow. How does that sound?
Give it a big blow.
We can celebrate
What
it.
are you giving a blow exactly? Jesus. Anyway, I think that is a decent amount of damage considering that ViCi did not really have a lot going into that round. Taking 2 guns away from Tyloo, and now they're going to be able to go for a full buy with all the utility, something that Tyloo really didn't have access to because they were not really super responsible with their spending on their CT side. So let's see how ViCi on their map pick uses this utility to get themselves into a good spot, especially over towards Banana. I've got my eye out. Double molly towards top Nana. There you go.
Karzo's got the AWP. The flashbang comes forward at a pretty solid time as the entries actually falling back in the wayside as ViCi. Zoking stays alive underneath Diggity for long enough as Dan King's last man left standing. Bombs out all the way out near top mid. And ViCi are just going to take the safe route. Going to be rotating over through CT spawn instead.
Zoking has been having some pretty monstrous CT sides when he's feeling it. And that is just another example of it. This man can multi-frag with the M4A4 when he's really feeling like it can probably kill most of your team.
Let's not count Dan King out. Smoke will allow him to retrieve the bomb. Could just walk all the way over to B here, but ViCi a little too cottoned on for that.
Oh, that was big brain. Almost shot the incendiary over to Zoking and saved him $600, but unfortunately didn't quite pick it up in time. Haven't seen anything like that in a while.
Yeah, the entry spacing just looked a little bit off for Tyloo there. You had 2 people that was fully committing, and then attacker comes in a little bit late. It's just looking a little bit spread out. And if Tyloo just had a bit more of a killer instinct like we saw in Mirage, that could have very much been that gun round to them. So, look, not fully convinced just yet from ViCi's CT side. They navigate through this one, though. They'll buy themselves, obviously, a lot of time and a lot of rounds to work with. But if they drop this one, that is in the territory of Rossetti Spaghetti.
Might not be too easy to take control of sandbags here for Tyloo. They've got a double stack to deal with. But I suppose that's one way of doing it. The question really does become whether or not they're expecting Orman from much the same position. He'll almost get flashed out, but slowly hits a fantastic shot.
Advin's just sending his soldiers in one at a time to their deaths.
And they really have the pick of anywhere they want to go at the stage. Jamyoung's really the only site defender, as I'm fairly certain if you look at every single POV of a ViCi member, it's just like you sig a T for that split second frame, and then you're dead. Advin.
Advin's going to double his frags here.
Are you sure about that? Remember I was saying about how you see a Tyloo member,
hang on, I meant from the first half.
Oh, excellent. Like, you know the part where you just see like a T, and it's just, you freeze that moment there, the next frame, you're dead.
Yeah. What a great round from Tyloo. I mean, it wasn't like, it's not going to go down as a legendary round or anything like that, but good shots. Still looking sharp. And it resets the economy of ViCi just a bit. So it'll be a single eco here for the CT side, but
Jamyoung's got its eagle. It's one of my favorite things in Counter-Strike.
Let me tell you about something else, Kev.
Yeah.
Tyloo's got a lot of money in the bank accounts. So if they don't lose guns to Jamyoung with the Deagle, they could have a lot of money going forward in this half, and you need money to make comebacks happen, to make dreams happen.
That said though, Pickleman, ViCi Gaming do have the loss bonus slowly starting to build up.
I can't cotton on, surely.
I am so blessed to be able to regularly cast with the one and only Pickleman.
Can't believe I get to
Have
sit
I
on a try-desk with the Lasagna Man and Pickleman. This is great.
No, it was Lasagna old.
I'm changing my
Lasagna
Twitter handle again.
Follow him at Pickleman Casts. Top bracket's being taken by Tyloo. Looking to pick off Kaze as he drops the smoke grenade. Zoking still gets that dink from that distance. Pretty solid, but the A bomb site still open for the taking. It's free real estate. Paid with a little bit of blood, so I guess not completely free.
Well, the only thing that really is free when it comes to Counter-Strike is Cry is free.
Didn't they scientifically prove it wasn't? Because of the salt content in some tiers?
That was a thread, yes, I did see that.
Yeah. So
Salt.
Cry actually technically isn't free.
Salt and water, not free.
And some places crying is actually more expensive than others, right?
Yeah.
Based on the economy. I'd actually reckon in Australia the cry is quite a bit more expensive than in some other countries because we generally I've got a pretty strong economy, so theoretically our dollar is a bit stronger than others, therefore worth more.
Look at Attacker. He's just trying to kill people on pistols at the moment. He's just going, oh, I could lose an AK here, but I better just keep swinging in. One round the difference now. Advent has five flash assists. That's more than the entire Tyloo squad. Yes, I agree. But you know what Tyloo's really good at doing?
Why do you need to flash your opponent if you just one-tap them?
Correct. Flashbangs are just $200 that you don't really need.
Waste of money.
Attacker's taken Nana control without taking any damage. Considering the utility expended, that's actually very solid.
He's not taking control. He's more sort of having a look at what ViCi's doing. Until he makes his way up past sandbags or past the half wall, he can't really be sure how much ViCi's looking to contest there. But now they're starting to make their way in towards Banana. Now they have control. What do Tyloo do now that they have control? They start to move up middle. They've got carpets control. Maybe play through carpets. Take the brackets. They haven't left anyone behind at B, so it's looking like they are very eager to go towards this A bomb site.
Might look like a bit of an apartments bust given the numbers that are over there at this stage.
I would agree, that's what it looks like. Right, that wrap smoke and actually bait Zoking to move towards jungle side with Kaze.
He's going to come back past the smoke into the site itself. Summer does fall, but Kaze's sort of half on the rotation over toward B already, and the entries are coming out on A. Zoking has to hold himself, and he gets the headshot, but can't follow up the spray onto Attacker, which allows Dan King into the site, plant the bomb, 3-on-3, the re-smoke. And ViCi have to complete this retake with only a smoke and 2 flashes. No defuse kit either, but there might be one on the bomb side. Either way, Dan King has just dispatched of Advent. Pulls off the line at the right time as well.
Pops a dink and goes for the instant repeat. You love to see it.
I think ViCi are just containing for damage at the moment, but if they just bite off a little bit more than they can chew, they might actually lose a few too many guns themselves. As Attacker looking to deny the AWP. That's actually a huge pick off. AWP now lost.
And gained.
So ViCi will be able to take one M4 forward. At the very least, they have this loss bonus. They can re-opt to buy the AWP if they decide to do so, but the utility is starting to look a little bit lacking right now. And Tyloo just looking too strong in the entries.
Well, 11 apiece. They have a hell of a lot more money than their opponents do. I did not think that there was a possibility that this would be a 2-0.
Really? In an ideal world, I would agree with you, but what I have noted of ViCi's recent play is that we are not in an ideal world.
There's a push coming down mid, and Slowly actually might be in a bit of trouble, but the flashbang comes in at the ideal time to allow Slowly to just dance around different angles, but he can't fight too many at the same time. It's all down to Kaze holding this position, but he's just missed the timing, unfortunately. Somebody, this is so much better from Somebody. He's really been struggling to find some form recently. It's good to see him back in the fragging shape, so to speak.
Four to 2. The bomb plant goes down on A. This is looking like where Tyloo will finally draw ahead on Inferno. It's been a long time coming. Have to see the save out from the CT side. And we actually haven't seen that many saves here on Inferno at all. It's just been constant brawls, constant fights. Orman and Zoking will keep their guns through though. But it's starting to look like a pretty dire situation for ViCi. This is actually the most rounds now that Tyloo have gotten off of ViCi on Inferno in their last 3 matches against each other. So they've already eclipsed the 16-11 scoreline that was the closest prior to this.
Oh no, just losing rifles like that isn't going to help either. Orman didn't really need to fight that. What do you say about this one, Mitch?
Finally, I was waiting for it. Savage.
No, Savage doesn't play for ViCi.
He used to. Very funny. Well, ViCi this time around. There's one of Advent's impact frags. He's going to pick off slowly, trying to take control of Banana there. And one way onto Dan King.
Do the thing!
He's hit 4 kills!
Nice.
Impacts! All we had to do was insult him a little bit, and look, you see that? He's heard that from across the continents.
It's a bit toxic.
You could have given it a better toot than that, is all I'm saying.
I don't want to completely blow out everyone's ears. I feel like that's a bit toxic.
What if we give them a warning?
Look,
If
I
we
don't
give
want
it
to toot
5, 4, 3,
ViCi's
2,
horn
1.
too much here because there is a real opportunity for Tyloo to just roll into the B site 3v2, hit some clean shots, and never mind.
Yeah, are you sure about that, dude?
And never mind. Look, it's still Attacker and Summer left alive. These two have been the Smash Bros for Tyloo.
Uh-oh, shot's been missed. Attacker. Oh,
No.
Orman's there, don't worry. Small heart attack, but not too big of one.
Who needs to hold the B bomb site when you have the guy in CT that can hold it for you? Soaking's just come straight through the smoke and smashed Attacker, not rather Summer, in the face.
Still plenty of money for Tyloo though. Advent digs deep there and finds 2 openers. Don't know how consistently that's going to be happening for ViCi though.
Alright, I don't know about you guys, but Advent's copping a bit this game. Still one of China's best players.
He's on our dream team.
He is on the dream team. There is a reason for that, and the reason is not for his fragging.
That's right. He has his moments.
We may meme a little bit about his fragging capabilities, but there's more to CS than just that.
Tyloo definitely trying to argue against that just by going, no, fragging is actually more important than brain cells. Here's why.
Plenty of brain cells and experience on Tyloo. Good flashbang, pushing Kaze off the line.
But it is a diggity hold coming out from ViCi with one boosted up, and they're just going to retake control of it. So a single flashbang's not good enough.
Tyloo going to start moving up Banana. Advent's still got a hell of a lot of utility to be dropping over here, and Orman's got a counter flash from Coffin's side. So if the protocols are put in place effectively, this could be a shutdown here for ViCi towards B.
Flashes, but Advent's going to get the kill through it. Attacker down early on in the piece, and ViCi really trying to hold on to this B bomb site. Orman will drop. It's all onto Advent now, holding the B site solo as he tries to buy time for the retake. Or the rotate even, but that's not going to happen at all. Somebody deletes Zoking.
That was a critical one-on-one deal. Zoking wins that. That's actually back to the 2-on-2 and allows this retake to be doable. But now Kaze has to try to save. And you can see somebody's already looking to go on the hunt. Oh, Kaze's made way too much noise. And that's the AWP lost as well. Somebody's been reading this game very, very well. He's been the difference between Tyloo and ViCi, I feel like, in a lot of these rounds.
Definitely having a great performance for himself. He's struggled to find himself in this new iteration of Tyloo, but has not been the case today. Man has been on point. Tyloo now getting ahead and actually depleting ViCi's very strong, depleting ViCi's economy rather. Wouldn't say it's very strong. And that's going to be a good start for them as well, taking out Advent, getting a one-man advantage, and fighting for this banana control. They're just going to leave Kaze solo on this B site, and 3 stack 8. It's a decent approach considering what's happening so far in this round. Have to take a risk somewhere when you lose a man advantage that early on.
Out comes that jungle smoke right now, threatening the wrap potential onto the B bomb site, and it might just look like it is going to be a wrap, and the problem is for ViCi. They're on the A bomb site, they've gambled incorrectly. It's all up to Kaze to hold it in the perfect situation to do so with the AWP, has the smoke to play with as well. He's going to start it off well. Out comes the rest of the members, and Kaze, he's slowly picking them apart at the moment.
Molotov does go into the back of sight, lands right into the smoke. There's another for Kaze. Can't quite hold on long enough to get the kill on somebody, and that may be the difference maker because somebody's gotten the smoke down in Banana, keeping all of ViCi at bay, and they don't seem too pleased about it either. The spam comes through. This is going to buy so much time. Zoking setting up a flash, but how long can ViCi wait?
They have to go in now. They do have a kit to play with at the very least, but Attacker with the AWP from New Box misses the first shot, but somebody might be the point of difference. Attackers switch back to the rifle. Now it's all down to the 1 and 2. And Jam Young just cannot break the crossfire. Tyloo up now by 2 rounds, and ViCi just cannot find the solution.
And they may have a hell of a lot of loss bonus behind them, but it's not enough to put together a convincing buy. And the main man who's been stepping up for ViCi this map has been Kaze with the AWP. I can tell you what you can't buy with 3.5 to 4K.
And they're forced to tank down to pistols at the moment with body armor to try to make it work.
Tanking tries to play quickly up into Banana, but not going to be quick enough to catch the majority of the ViCi players. Orman gets back into the site as well. Tyloo a couple of rounds away from winning DreamHack Masters Spring, and it will have been a very quick final here in Asia if they do manage to secure the 2-0, which in turn means a 3-0.
They start taking control of bracket here. Smoke onto jungle side. Good information towards middle for Tyloo. Now starting to move back towards Banana. Keeping the CTs honest, trying to make sure they don't have too much information. If anybody re-aggresses into bracket, Attacker and Summer were posted up. Tyloo clear out top of Banana, make sure that no one's got any information over there as well, and now start to look towards the late round.
You just had this feeling as they walk into the stack. Zoking and Jam Young have been looking very good so far with the Desert Eagle and the 5-7 respectively. Now they have to dig really deep. 24 seconds. The time is ticking away. And I'm a little bit scared right now for Tyloo, Jordan.
Yeah, I can imagine why. As you say, time's of the essence right now for Tyloo. They will pick up the pace, but Jam Young, he's always good for one with the Deagle. Zoking there as well. Finally, Jam Young is deleted, but we need to see at least one more kill on that bomb site, and there's 5 seconds left. That is the round over. Danking still at the bottom of Banana. Will not be able to win it for Tyloo, and ViCi hang on.
Just taken too long to get into that A bomb site. They've done a good job taking map control and denying information, but they haven't given themselves enough time to close the round out, unfortunately.
Yep, Kaze's hit the 30 at the moment, and you can say, yeah, you fought against someone who was just fighting well on the A bomb site, but at the end of the day, not giving themselves enough time. Like Dan King is over at bottom Banana that late. Didn't even drop any utility. That was the problem as well. He had a smoke and 2 flashbangs left. For what reason? not even convincing of a fake. A few gunshots doesn't really sell and execute at that stage. At least they got money to buy into this. But now ViCi have a bit of a chance to also get the way back in.
Yeah, got the AWP, got a few AKs as well.
Also a bit of cash for the next round as well, should they lose here. Done wonders for ViCi that last round.
Again, attacker contesting Nana from Logs. Double nade into Logs, avoided nicely. And he even deals with Orman, who's flashed out onto the angle, trying to use that one way.
Zokin creeps forward as well, sits behind Car, and so it's an interesting banana hold here for ViCi. They're really gambling that Tyloo's not prepared for that, and they would be correct in that assumption. Attacker drops.
You can see Kaze just sliding out into middle in the mid-round. Looking for a pick, looking for information. And the fact that he has seen no one in middle is information in and of itself, with how much noise is being made towards Banana. At least at the start of the round, but now Tyloo going quiet. Throwing a smoke towards Moto. Advent playing retake on this speed bomb site once again.
He's going to try and fight it, but the flashbang has blinded him off completely, and slowly he's already on the bomb site. He just can't correct the spray in time. Has to be bomb site now open for business, and slowly will shut down that fast flank as well, or the fast retake from Zoking, and that's just too many guns out of contention. ViCi need to save. 15-13. Not only just map point, upset point on Inferno, considering they were down 5-10, but that's also championship point.
Jamyoung and Kaze actually being able to save these two weapons through is pretty substantial for the CT buy.
Gives them an opportunity to try to fight for overtime, that's for sure. I've been hunted down by Tyloo.
But a couple of rounds to play with now for Tyloo, and they're just one away from picking up DreamHack Masters Spring. Be a nice little bounce back for Tyloo, who only came second in Road to Rio to Tiger. Had a poor performance in Weibo Cup as well. Be their first win as well with this roster, in a tournament at least.
Didn't take them long. Not over just yet. Again, contest towards Banana this time. Attacker setting up Danking with the flashes from T-steps. He's going to make his way up there. Doesn't see any CTs contesting the top of Banana. Smoke onto jungle side from Tyloo as they move their way back towards bracket. A smoke on the half wall limits how much information Danking has over towards Banana. So Tyloo, they've got bracket. They're clearing carpet. They know that ViCi hasn't got all of Banana. What's the play from here? Just going to group up towards 8.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's again Danking sitting at the bottom of Banana, but this time seems like he'll rejoin the team a little earlier. Tyloo will just try and walk their way out onto A. Some utility being thrown in now. That gives them arch side. Rest of the smokes are coming across as well. There is a hole in the smoke here as well for Slowly to potentially work with. Jamyoung and Zoking combine well, but they'll have to hold off the attempt now from Attacker. 1-on-3. Kaze gets that kill. It's a big round to win for ViCi because look at the money for Tyloo. It's not fantastic. Maybe there's a world still where ViCi can push this through to OT.
3.1 and 3.4 is going to be pretty hard to put AKs and armor on the board. Probably just down to the Galils.
But what a great A side hold there coming out towards the end from ViCi. Also, keeping that many guns alive means that they can actually get a really good investment coming into the final round of regulation in comparison to what we're seeing from Tyloo. It's actually going to be a Krieg in the hands of Summer. With with a Deagle as well as a Galil out in play.
And take full control of Banana pretty early on now. Waiting for some kind of a push out of ViCi. Again, it's the smoke onto jungler side around the same point in the round. Molotov towards Dick. Tyloo regrouping back towards B. The bomb's still in carpets. So somebody's got to get a bit of a move on. Join up with the rest of the lads. Orman has a Molotov and a smoke to deploy. Advent's ready with the counter flash for him.
Utility does get thrown in by Tyloo. They'll need to make this entry work because the rotation is already coming across for ViCi. Smoke down at the perfect time for Orman, provides some space. Zoking's got one spamming through from CT, and Advent can double down. Now it's just Orman on the bomb site, but they might have done enough on the defense, ViCi. 2 on 3. Bomb plan has to go down. Smokes are starting to fade. ViCi in an advantageous position now.
And this is really all down to somebody to make the moves right now. He's the one on full HP. Slowly is just tagged up way too much. He's got a silenced M4 as well against these helmeted opponents on the CT side. Needs to find some clean kills. Out comes this garden push. If Zoking wins this, I'd say that this is pretty much into overtime. And Zoking, he's able to pick off one. Now they know where the last one is. 17 HP. All it takes is a couple of rifle shots from Jam Young. And there you have it. The kit's there in play as well. Plenty of time for the defuse. It is going to be overtime. Tyloo just can't seem to find an answer towards the end of regulation.
Yeah, a few critical rounds for ViCi to push it over the line. We head into OT with ViCi starting on CT side. It's 16k OT as well. And ViCi, when they have the guns in their hands, do look relatively menacing. So, maybe those CT rounds will come here in the overtime as well. Danking's back on the AWP though.
A lot more utility being thrown out to the start of the round when they have access to it, ViCi. Looking like a quick one towards the A bomb site for Tyloo though. Grouping up in middle very early on. Orman cops a dink through the wall there. Spotting out a couple of players towards middle. Kaze's over towards B this time around, so it's actually Zoking and Jam Young to crossfire between pit and site with the double rifle.
There's so much utility still to play with for ViCi. Zoking's been spotted out as well and will win the aim duel against somebody. Significant damage was done though. You see Orman and Zoking looking a little worse for it at the moment, but Orman, he's lined up to finish the summer off through the smoke as well, and this round has just capitulated really for Tyloo.
That's ViCi stepping up when they need to as well. Orman individually has been having a bit of a shocker, but able to get some kills when it counts. Able to at least deflect against one arm. The aggression always is going to help. And Dan King, if he gets this shot into Jam Young, will be a hell of a shot. But with the dink and the incendiary grenade, it just leaves slowly by himself. 30 seconds left to find all these picks. I would say pretty much undoable.
He's going to find the gap in the defense, but too little time for him to really realistically clear out this A bomb site and get the bomb down.
Yeah, he's got to clear out Zoking firstly, who's on a perfect angle right now. And he actually gets the insta-dink as well. Jam Young's going to swing on that contact. And ViCi continue the winning spree on the CT side, and that's looking pretty good for ViCi.
They've been slowly plugging away. And this is the first game in a while, I think, between Tyloo and ViCi where one team's sort of streaked away with it, but there's been back and forth action between both rather than just the whoever's under the pump rolling over and dying. ViCi are really fighting in this grand final to secure Inferno and keep their hopes alive.
I feel like Dan King needs to really pick it up in overtime if Tyloo are able to try to make a way back into this T side. They have actually lost the last couple of rounds.
It is going to be a carpets bust. 2 players on balcony for ViCi.
That's a perfect counter at the moment for it, as well as Jam Young, as well as Zoking going to be up here, and the bomb's going to go down as somebody at least able to get the trade, but the Diggity player is coming out a little bit too slowly. Orman can now just try to play around the smoke, but Summer's just going to push straight forward to his death, and Dan King trying to wrap around, at the very least, trying to make it doable, but there's still one in Library who should be able to get this pick off, as Kaze can't land the Deagle shots. Never mind, Orman's there. Of course, Orman is going to be there in overtime, ready to bail out ViCi.
I'd say this is going to have to be a must-win round now for Tyloo. You can't let it go 3-0 to ViCi. Tyloo, it's just that none of the entries seem to be working at all. ViCi have turned something on heading into this overtime.
They're falling a little bit flat when they're not finding some of these opening kills. ViCi's putting up resistance whenever they try to take key parts of the map, or not giving them the fights that they're looking for, particularly over towards Banana. ViCi stopped really contesting it. They're forcing Tyloo into the late round through a bunch of utility, putting them in awkward spots, and if Tyloo don't snap off the first couple of heads on their way into the site, there's nothing really behind it. That's what it feels like. This is a problem with that aim-based gameplay sometimes. When the shots stop connecting, you need a little bit something else.
Problem is we're not really seeing that at this moment. Not seeing that something else at this stage. Dan King struggling in terms of getting the kills slowly. Oh my goodness, Oking just pushing straight down mid, looking to end the round by himself. Summer, he's just come out a little bit too little too late. I mean, he's able to get a trade, sure. But look at the position between somebody as well as Jam Young. Jam Young surely should be able to get this pick off in a moment. But it's actually somebody just coming in, missing 2 shots. We're missing too many at this moment. Finally connects one, but Jam actually gets the knife. And I'd say that pretty much sums up Tyloo in that round.
Wow, that really rubs salt into the wound.
I gave it a fair crack with the AWP. Not connecting, unfortunately. And it's all on Summer. He does have the bomb rolling into this B-bomb site.
Yeah, Bakaze's there in the corner, so I don't know if a bomb's going to help there.
18 up for ViCi means they're 1 round away from pushing us through to Train. Zoking with a pretty impressive push down mid. And Jam Young with a little BM as well to finish another kill off. So Tyloo, it just seems like it's been let slip a little bit too much now. Need a perfect second half to the overtime, even to push it to OT2. And then what?
Double up for Tyloo. Gave them a little bit of success in regulation on their CT side, which was pretty woeful. But they're going to need better than just, you know, the singular success or the limited success that they had in regulation. They have no room for error here. They need 3 in a row. Or ViCi is going to be pushing it through to Train, I believe it was. Train then overpass.
Yep.
Might be here for a while yet with some more Counter-Strike action, which is always a good thing.
Oh, here comes ViCi. Summer elects to back off into the site, but then recontests the angle at Diggity just for a grenade. It's not a badly timed grenade, but doesn't do too significant amount of damage. Attacker's certainly in the walls right now as well. ViCi haven't committed just yet. They're just taking control of brackets. Kaze, he catches slowly as the smoke fades. Already the opener that ViCi's looking for. 19-15 on the cards now. Unless Dan King can turn it back in their favor. Misses the second shot. It was a good start for Dan King, but they need much more right now, Tyloo. And I'm not sure that they're going to get it. Attacker's the last alive, and you can all see where that's going. It's ViCi 19-15 to pick up map 2, and Inferno still remains a stronghold for them. That's 3 in a row against Tyloo on that map. But Train up next, and that's where things get interesting.